Caught in the act, Emefiele ambushes Tinubu at appeal court on 753 unit estate. Few days after President Bola Tinubu hurriedly directed the Minister of Housing, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, to sell forfeited 753 unit housing estate developed by former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele from alleged proceeds of crime. Emefiele has filed an appeal challenging the court ruling that handed the federal government full ownership of a 753-unit housing estate in Lokogoma, Abuja, almost 753. If they sell it now, we will not imagine the kind of money he used to build this place. Hey God. Now wow. Business H1 highlights recalls that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had earlier secured a court order for the forfeiture of the estate initially linked to an unnamed ex-government official, which later turned out to be Emefiele. Prior to the latest twist by Emefiele, the minister had on Monday, May 26, at the inauguration of the board of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, in Abuja, revealed that the houses were handed over to the Ministry of Housing under the directive of President Bola Tinubu, and the ministry has since taken full possession of the properties. Dangiwa stated that the next step was to conduct a thorough integrity test on the building to assess their structural soundness, alongside an evaluation of the estate's infrastructure and auxiliary facilities. We want to take the houses to a particular level of semi-finished before we disburse them to the Nigerian public. Now, before you disburse them to the Nigerian public. However, Emefiele, through his lawyer, A.M. Kotoye, argued that he holds an interest in the property and was wrongfully excluded from the proceedings. No be small thing. Emefiele further accused the EFCC of intentionally hiding the case from him, despite their ongoing legal interactions on other charges. The trial court, however, ruled that the EFCC had followed due process and the newspaper publication was adequate. The judge stated that the notice could not reasonably be described as hidden. Dissatisfied with the verdict, Emefiele approached the Court of Appeal on April 30, 2025. He is asking the appellate court to overturn the judgment delivered on April 28, 2025, nullify the interim and final forfeiture orders made on November 1 and December 2, 2024, and oppose the application filed earlier on January 28, 2025. He maintained that the trial court failed to properly evaluate the evidence before it, arguing that the forfeiture orders were based on hearsay, suspicion, and no proper evidence. Emefiele also insisted that he had both legal and equitable interest in the estate, contrary to the court's claims that he presented no proof of ownership. Calling the ruling a miscarriage of justice, he said the failure of the trial judge to properly evaluate the affidavits and documents before him is perverse and has caused a miscarriage of justice. The orders were made in a breach of the 1999 Constitution and are therefore null and void. In a related move, Emefiele's legal team has written to the Minister of Housing, urging the government to suspend all plans. No be small thing. You want to urge government to suspend off all plans. Okay now. To sell the estate until the appeal is resolved. Okay now. We are aware that the properties may soon be sold to the public. We have already served the EFCC with a notice of appeal and an injunction, the letter reads. The federal government had recently announced plans to auction the estate to low and middle income earners. You want to auction it. If you see the auction, it is all of them, the senators. They will send people to come and buy the houses for them. They want to auction it. It's not be small thing. Phil Mark says, shamelessness. I'm telling you, the guy has mind. And this Emefiele. Is that not how Desianito was talking? After they caught her with all those houses, she was telling them that they should return her houses to her. Not be small thing with the money that you stole. Anyway, the lawyers and judges will get their share of the looted funds before Uncle. Aminu Valentine says, see liver, such effrontery. The defense lawyer should be prosecuted alongside Emefiele for daring. To say, fuck the right to adequate representation. Why contest what is obvious? Using technicalities to pervert justice. Man, what a country. Desiani did it. So he too is doing his own. Abina is also doing his own. Can you imagine? Now, wow. Peter Okorafor said, hey, yeah, so Emefiele had a hand in the 753 houses. But tell us more, who else had a vested interest in the houses? The full story, please. Of course, we know somebody else that had a full vested interest in the house. Kenichi says, I'm surprised that this stupid man that calls himself Emefiele still has the temerity, no be small temerity, effrontery, to go to appeal court to challenge the forfeiture of the buildings he erected for himself with money meant for Nigerians in general. Honestly, I was sympathizing for him when EFCC was molesting him, but as facts began to emerge about the stupendous wealth he acquired through corruption, I felt so disappointed in him. Instead of winding down and beg Nigerians for forgiveness, you dey whine, you dey play, he's trying to recover his loot. That's how they behave, that's how they do. It is well. Welcome to Nigeria. Wilfred Olukbe says, criminals will not go unpunished. Imagine a civil servant, a public servant, with such accumulating property as a disposal. How much being salary with allowances when he has over 700 flats? 753. As his property, here the government no fit afford to pay just 75k minimum wage to civil servants. Government has every right to confiscate those properties, in my own opinion. Of course they have the right, but this is Nigeria. If the Ziani can say, they should return her properties to her. Imagine, he's hearing from the prison that he is, that they want to sell your houses. They want to, even though if they said it too, no, it's not like we are going to see the money or be anything, but, it is well though, this country. Emefiele is an idiot. He didn't represent the country very well while in office. You even have the guts to purchase APC presidential ticket. The same APC backed you up when Nigerians were telling AG to prosecute you, but now APC want to buy you because of Tinubu. Tinubu will buy that estate, obviously. If they put it out now, they say in an auction, is a lie. It is some of our leaders that would send people to go and buy the houses, and then they will become the owners. It will be small thing. It is well. Abdul Karim says, Nigerians, so as long as the president cannot come out clean to equity, we should all go looting, Abi? Are we in a jungle? No be small thing. Is Emefiele the first person to undergo trial? Face the issue as it is, but I am not a fan of tipping. Just remain objective. Solomon Omije says, can you imagine Emefiele trying to play victim here? Very wicked human being. A criminal to the core. I'm telling you, and to be carrying Bible up and down as if he's a saint. He must repay all that you have stolen from Nigerians. It is well. Igwe Ike says, I support selling those houses, but let the probe of public services start right here now. Probe Buhari and others, not only Emefiele is the criminal that Nigeria has. Of course, now we have so many. In fact, all of them, all of our leaders, all of them in APCU, in PDPU, all of them are artists. Big one. Big T's. It is well. God will help us in this country. My listeners, over to leave your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.